Welcome back to my channel. Today is one of the more nicer days outside. It's about 17 degrees, very unusual for this time of the year. I also blame it on global warming, but whatever, who am I to say, right? This video is going to be about me going vegetarian and why I stopped eating fish, okay? Now, I wanted to wait a few months before I made a video about me going vegetarian because a lot of the times what happens is, you know, around the New Year's time, people commit to resolutions, and once they commit to the resolutions, then they don't follow through, or they fall back, they give in, and then the resolutions, it kind of puts down your credibility. So I like to try to keep my credibility and my reputation in terms of what I say as credible as I can. So this is why I want to wait a respectable amount of time before I actually made a video to explain why I stopped eating fish and why I went vegetarian. Okay, quick little recap. In 2010 or 11, I believe it was 2011, for about 2 years I went vegetarian, which means I stopped eating chicken, I stopped eating beef, I stopped eating fish, I stopped eating everything. Was simply plant-based diet, but I was still eating, like, having yogurt and cheese, right? So I'm not vegan, I'm vegetarian, which means I still consume animal products which is not meat, but still comes from the animals. So I went for about 2 years, and then I had a change in my lifestyle again. So I figured, you know, I started eating chicken again, but this time what I was doing was I was only focusing on getting halal chicken or chicken that's, you know, organic. So now that brings me to my current discussion about why I stopped eating fish and why I went vegetarian. Okay, so first let me talk about fish. I love fish. I love the taste of fish. Growing up, ethnic, like in my culture and in our ethnicity, like especially my parents, how they raised me, they never promoted fish, they never liked fish, they never advocated fish, they never cooked fish in the house. They always said it smelled funny, it smelled stinky, and they didn't like it. So my parents always ate chicken and beef, but they never had fish. So I started kind of eating fish on my own terms and started liking fish on my own terms. I actually really like the taste. So I started eating salmon. I pretty much tried a variety of fish. Salmon fish, tuna, king, snapper, grouper, parrotfish. I've tasted, there's a bunch of them, but those are the ones I can think off the top of my head. But the point is I've tasted a variety of fish, and I love fish, and I like eating raw fish too, sashimi, as well as eating fish that's cooked, baked, whatever the case might be. So recently I dug into my study about genetically modified fish, and actually found out that as of 2016, Aqua Bounty, which is a company that started, I believe, in 1991, they started experimenting with genetically modified fish and started playing around with what's called a what's called a frankenfish. Okay, and why they call it a frankenfish is very important to understand why. Okay, a frankenfish is a genetically modified version of a salmon that grows 2 to 3 times its size in half or 1/3 the amount of time. So it's a super fish that grows really fast, but actually grows in half the amount of time because its genetics, its DNA composure is not natural. It's artificially combined. So the salmon that's being introduced right now on the market, they're called frankenfish, and they're called the new genetically modified salmon. Now, they're composed of salmon DNA, Chinook salmon DNA, and eel. You guys know what an eel is? A scary snake-looking thing that swims in the water and spurts electricity. Okay, so the genetically modified fish is the 3 of the fishes put together, and that's what this frankenfish is. Now, I've also seen studies on documentaries when they actually were experimenting when this fish was first introduced in their little pilot testing phases. And what had happened was they had a bunch of them swimming around in the tub in water, and all these fish were content because they had eaten and they had food. So what happened is, as they were swimming, there were other fish swimming around them, everything was cordial and peaceful. The minute these fish started to get that hunger sensation, they went savage cannibal mode, meaning they immediately started consuming each other and the other fish too. So the whole point of what I'm saying is, these fish are, it's like you know, to talk about Frankenstein back in the day, like a creation made from some, anyways, same concept with these fish. They're crazy monsters and they look scary, and I don't want to be consuming something that has been genetically modified. So that is why specifically I stopped eating salmon, because this genetically modified fish has a lot of stuff in there. Hormones, antibiotics, from the water that it's in, chemicals, artificial growth hormones, everything you can think that possibly our body would be not attached to or like, that's within this fish. So that is why I don't mess with salmon anymore. Now, I know you're wondering, there's probably sustainable fish like in the market. Sure. Ambrosia is an organic grocery store in Toronto, which I go to, which is like, you know, they sell all organic, non-GMO. Majority of the stuff is non-GMO. But what they do is they sell sustainable fish, right? So you can buy sustainable fish that is not exposed to these type of chemicals and these type of products. But the fish is extremely expensive. Like I'm talking like $10 for like a piece this big, which is just like a boneless, skinless fillet. And I don't want to pay $10 for small fillet because I want to eat like a big piece of fish if I'm going to eat it. So it's too expensive for me to buy it if I was to even support it ethically. So that's why I'm not really consuming fish as part of the thing. Ethics is another big portion of it. I'm a firm believer in not hurting animals. Like a lot of me eating meat was consumed because my parents enforced that on me. But as a person, I very much humbly respect every animal, and I feel that every animal contributes a certain amount of energy to the vibration, you know, the big vibration. Every animal has their little part to play. So our job is not to disrupt that vibration. Our job is just to do our part and try to. So I've never really encouraged killing or promoting any animals. I've never really killed any animals myself. The last time I went back home, I was offered that I could butcher like animals, but I just didn't feel the need to. Like I just felt wrong about it. I mean, I've killed a fly, I think, as a kid. I mean, if that counts, please. You know, I'm sorry about killing the fly. I just pulled its wings off and buried it. I don't know. Other kids were doing it. I started doing it too, so whatever. But I just want to point out, tilapia. Tilapia is another fish that I don't eat, and the reason I don't eat tilapia is because tilapia can thrive in any environment. So if the water's murky, if the water's dirty, if it's clean, if it's infested with pesticides, if it's filled with sewage waste, tilapia will still thrive in that water, right? Some fish are saltwater fish, other fish are freshwater fish. So they have to have the optimal pH level, acidity level, as well as oxygen balance in the water to survive. You can't take like a freshwater fish and put in salt water and expect to survive. It won't happen, right? But there's some crossbreeding going on where they're trying to mess things up. But the point is, with tilapia, it's a fish that will thrive in any condition. So it will just basically be consuming in everything that's around it. So if you guys eat tilapia, please consider eating other fish that is not going to that's not so prone to like radiation, and it basically will live in any water condition. I keep repeating myself, but basically that's not a good thing, right? Like if the fish is raised in dirty, murky sewage water, when the fish is being cut, it's still going to look like fish. Its meat's not going to have a different texture, but the component of its DNA and genetics is going to affect our body in the long run. So this is sort of like my little thing on there about why I stopped eating fish and why I went vegetarian. I went vegetarian since January of 2016, and I have not I ate meat once. It doesn't really count, but the point is I have not gone up until now, and I don't feel the need to consume meat anytime in the future. I don't feel the need to like want to eat meat down the road. So I think I'm pretty certain I'm done with meat. Like I said, fish, the only way I would eat it is if I'm able to afford sustainable fish, which I can't right now. It's really sad, but what can you do? In terms of the whole chicken thing, like I said, a lot of you guys, I'm not going to spend too much time talking about genetically modified organisms, because a lot of you probably know about genetically modified organisms, and a lot of you probably already are aware of the mass producing industrial chickens and how much torture the cows, the chicken, the goats, the animals, the sheep, all these animals go through for various reasons. You guys seen how they pulverize sheep, beat them with like metal rods and beat them to death just to rip their fur off their skin, you know, and make shoes out of that. With cows, the leather hide, the same thing. With chickens, you guys have them in little cages where basically they just stand immobilized and force-fed until they're big enough to be slaughtered and then eaten, and it's just disgusting. So I'm done with that. I knew for a long time it was coming, but I'm done with that. I just wanted to put that out there. Something else I want to mention very, 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 I think it's important. A lot of people ask me like how my skin is so good, and a lot of people don't think that I'm the age that I'm right now. Like I'm 29, I'm gonna be 30 in September. So like I think I look pretty good for my age. A lot of that has to do with like how I dress and so forth. But most importantly, what that has to do with is your diet and your lifestyle and the way you choose to eat certain types of food. And remember, we have our DNA and we have our RNA, which is the ribonucleic acid. So if your RNA, anything you eat, every food you eat has a DNA composure in it, and every food you eat also has an RNA composure to it. So when you eat a certain type of food, your body it morphs with that food's RNA, and that food becomes permanently a part of you. So what that essentially is saying is, if you continue to eat foods that are genetically modified, that have growth hormones, that have chemicals, that have antibiotics, sooner or later your body is going to not be able to repel back against all this force ingested like chemicals that your body's dealing with, and you're gonna, like, this is where problems start to happen. I can honestly say, by the grace of God, and just very happy to say that I had no health problems, I have no physical problems, and a lot of this has to do with my choices in life. I've never eaten pork. I've been offered it many times. I know a lot of Muslim people that eat pork. I don't eat pork. I will not eat pork, and I refuse to even go near pork regardless of the situation. Same thing with beef, and now the same thing is with chicken. So I don't hold a person's personal choice for what they choose to eat. What I did want to put out there is, when people ask me why I look so good for my age, and why my skin is nice, and why my hair is so nice, and how I'm so healthy and I don't have any illnesses, it's because I respect my body. My body's a temple. What I put in it is how it's going to treat me back in return. So it really is a lifetime strong commitment, and I honestly can say, since I went vegetarian, I have not felt any deprivation of any nutrients, minerals, or anything in my body, because I've been consuming a lot of superfoods from the earth, which are not modified and essentially in the raw state. I'm going to share with you guys some stuff that I have here just to give you an idea, because you know, somebody might see this and say, you know what, I'm sitting here, I don't like meat, and I've wanted to give up meat for a long time. I know it's wrong. I feel like I don't know what to do, because I'm scared, because a lot of people think that you have to eat meat. If you don't eat meat, you're going to miss out on certain fatty acids, amino acids, whatever. Okay, whatever meat gives you, plants, nuts, fruits and vegetables can give you that plus more. So I just need to, again, it's hard for me to convince other people, so I have to use myself as an example to set it out there. So if you guys think it works, by all means, give it a shot. Again, I'll always say, if you guys have a lifestyle that's working for you, you're healthy, you're active, don't change it. You know what? All the more power to you. However, if you're struggling, you notice you have irritable bowel syndrome, you have stomach problems, you're always cramping, you have trouble going to the bathroom, you have trouble like sleeping at night, all that is correlated to what you eat and what you put in your body. Now, I won't make this, hopefully not this video too long, but I want to quickly share with you guys some stuff that I have here, which is awesome. This is hemp hearts, okay? I'm not going to put up the nutritional information because it's here, and I don't know if everybody understands how nutritional breakdowns work, but for anyone that's interested, I will quickly show you guys here. Okay, hemp hearts. Good for fiber, good for protein. I put this in my cereal when I eat it in the morning. So I have like non-GMO cereal. There are brands out there. You might pay $1.50, $2 more, but that is soft, man. So I have non-GMO cereal. With my cereal, I will have like almond silk. Now this is not non-GMO, but there are other brands which are non-GMO, but I don't mind this because it's still a billion times better than drinking milk. If anyone is drinking milk, I would strongly encourage you to please reconsider drinking milk. Milk is very, 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 very bad for you. Doctors will tell you otherwise, people will tell you otherwise, but if you guys understand that, for example, in the USA, it is one of the highest consumption rates of milk and dairy products, and also in the USA is the highest correlation with osteoporosis, with dental fluoridation, as well as with problems related to digestive because of milk. So I'm not going to get too much into it because I know a lot of people love milk, and your parents, your grandparents, everyone drinks milk. Great. Again, if it works for you, great. If not, then you don't have to take what I say into consideration. But anyways, almond silk is made from almonds. It's an alternative to milk. It has the exact same amount of fiber, protein, nutrients, minerals, essentially everything that milk has, just not made from milk. And ethically, you feel a lot better drinking this than drinking something that came from another animal. Isn't it funny to say that we as humans are the only mammals that consume milk from another mammal? This doesn't happen in nature. You guys know that. No other mammal will even consider going to another mammal to drink milk. Not that I've ever seen or come across. If you do, please correct me. But as far as I know, so anyways, hemp hearts, amazing stuff. It's raw, it's unprocessed, it's unrefined. You essentially just put like in cereal. You can have it in your salad. You can even have it with yogurt. You can even have it with your smoothie. So this is something really good. Further with that, I have some organic unsweetened coconut. I like this because this is very good with fiber. There's a lot of trans-saturated fat. Just on the moment, I want to say, people talk about trans-saturated fat. I just want to, for the record, say the amount of fat you ingest is not relevant to the amount of fat on your body. Can I just say that once again? There's no correlation with the amount of fat you ingest from eating foods with respect to how much fat is actually on your body. So please, if there's a misconception about, oh, there's too much fat in there because avocado has too much fat, this has too much fat, that has too much fat. The fat is good fat, and it's not going to stick on your body because that is not how the body works. And I don't have too much time to go into the specifics, but the point is, Guys, raw shredded coconut is amazing. Again, you can put this in your smoothie. I always mix this stuff too, so this is awesome. I try to incorporate everything. I have ice cream at night, which is made from like goat's milk, which is better than, you know, cow's milk. I'll shred some of this over the goat's milk. So, okay, a couple more things. This is my holy grail, Raw Meal Garden of Life, my ultimate holy grail. I cannot emphasize or stress to you guys how much I love this. For anybody who does not know Garden of Life, please research Garden of Life. I've been talking about this on my Instagram. I've been talking about this from way back, and I will talk about this again. This is the ultimate superfood. This is cacao flavored, and it tastes so good. So what I do is I get almond silk, I mix some of this, I mix some frozen fruits, I mix some hemp seeds, I add some shredded coconuts, mix it all together, and I have a superfood supplement that is better than any meat that will give me. So definitely get Raw Meal Garden of Life, because again, I will post information for anyone who's interested. Have a look, guys. There's no harm in having a look. A couple more things I want to show here. High fiber, these are figs. You guys know about figs, so I don't need to go further into figs. I have some mixed nuts here, which are Brazilian mixed nuts. They don't have any salt or any sugar in them. So these are Brazilian nuts, pecans, walnuts, cashews, and a whole bunch of other stuff. And then I have some pitted dates here, which I just picked up. So what I'm going to do with the pitted dates, with the figs, and with the mixed nuts, I'm going to try to make my own, like a bar, like a you know, like what a Lara bar is, but it's made from dates. Basically, you make your own supplement bar. So I'm gonna actually try and make my own, because you know, I'm all about doing it yourself. I'm all about making that improvement for yourself. So that's it. I know it's an overwhelming load of information. I thank you guys so much for watching. For those who are interested, again, this video is not for everybody. This is my first time doing a health conscious video. If you guys like it, give me your feedback, leave me your thoughts, because I would like to incorporate further videos into this. Before I sign off, I just want to lastly say, I did my hair again. I'm so happy. It took me like 2 hours to do it. I have one more braid on this side than I have on this side, but again, it comes with the learning process, but I think it really looks nice. And last thing I just want to say, for somebody who's been talking about not wearing hats, this is my second video where I'm wearing a hat, which is funny, but again, I only wear it because it's like 17 degrees outside, and again, the top of my hair it's not that. I'm still getting better with the perfecting till I get to part it all the way. I'm not going to fully be able to walk out with the confidence, because you guys can tell the line is all crooked and stuff. I know I can't do a straight line. Anyways, so that's it. Peace out. I'm gone. Thank you guys again for watching. I'm glad I had the opportunity to make this video, and please stay tuned for my next hair update video, which is coming very soon. Peace out.